I'm going to be doing my presentation over tempera on panel. Um, I chose tempera because I enjoyed learning about it during our history too. So, yeah. What is tempera? Tempera is basically a water soluble binder combined with a pigment. So, a water soluble binder could be anything like egg yolk, egg whites, animal gums, etc. And the pigment is basically just materials that are grinded up into a dust. In this case, I'm going to be talking about egg yolks, um, just because it's the most popular variant, and all of my research includes egg yolk as the tempera. The panels for tempera, um, I'm going to be talking about wood panels. Um, these wood panels would be made out of popular wood. Popular wood is um, a very common global wood, especially in Southern Europe. Um, these wood panels would be refined and created out of strips of wood to make one panel. This was to prevent warping, and you couldn't actually just paint tempera on the wood panels because it would absorb the wood would absorb the tempera. So you needed a base. In this case, gesso was used, which is an off-white plaster. Um, so I'm going to be talking about the Italian Renaissance for tempera, just because that's where it was mainly used. Tempera was actually used like way before the Italian Renaissance and was used after the Italian Renaissance, but it mainly was used by Florence artists during the Italian Renaissance. So that's is when it was mainly used. One of the most common techniques for tempera paintings is layering. This is because tempera was really quick to dry, so it was really hard to blend colors. So by the time you could be adding another stroke of paint onto your panel, the the stroke from before could already be dried. So cross hatching was used to create um, a gradient and to create depth. So yeah, another technique used for tempera paintings would actually be gold leaves. Um, Gold leaves on would be used to as like the background. This gold leaf was used because it was thought that raw materials like gold and gems had spiritual and medicinal properties to them, so they would be used for only the most important paintings. In this case, it would be religious figures or religious events, and the gold leaf would be added onto the panel with red clay as the glue. Um, this the gold leaf would actually could actually be used to create 3D effects onto the panels, mostly for halos that were used to make the religious figures look like they were, like out of this world, that they weren't a part of this world, which was the intent of the artists. And I guess the only con to that would be that gold is really expensive, but during the Italian Renaissance, I guess mostly churches and people that had money were the only ones to paint either way. So, yeah. Here for my example, I have the coronation of the Virgin. This is basically just a picture or a painting of Jesus crowning his mother as queen. Um, this isn't a really good picture to tell, but if you look closer or if you just go online, you can see Jesus have a halo, and the halo was created by, just like I said, was indenting the gold leaf onto it, so it wasn't actually anything paint. It wasn't paint. It was just the gold leaf being indented into there. So yeah, thought that was pretty cool. And then for my second example, it is a close up of the ideal portrait of a lady. Um, this basically just shows all of the brush marks and all of the like cross hatching that was used. This was basically the hair was basically one color at one point, but with extra like cross hatching and layering, he added different variants of colors onto the hair, which makes it look really realistic. And yeah, that's all for my presentation.